Hey guys, how's it going? Just myself here, back with another video, and this time I'm doing a video response to Liam at Gaming MasterRace. And yeah, this is a bit of a different video, I guess. He's done a video on there, and he's done it a while back now. It was actually published a month ago, maybe more, and it was on basically his biggest gaming regret. And without giving away too much of Liam's video, he basically regretted selling a particular console and didn't really get that much for it, you know. I have to say, you know, I think this is somewhere that we've all been at some point, to be honest with you. And if you guys might remember seeing my PlayStation top 10 video, and basically in that I talked about how I had this kind of love-hate relationship with the PlayStation, and it was all down to the fact that I'd had to sell my Sega Master System and my Mega Drive to get that PlayStation. So yeah, I've kind of been there. I know exactly where you're coming from, Liam, and I look back on that time with pretty much the same kind of thoughts. You know, I should have hung on to my collection. Why did I think it was okay to sell these games that, you know, I paid, you know, 30 quid a game, possibly more, and sell it all to get one console and, you know, 2 games or something like that? Because I sold my Mega Drive and my Master System about, you know, probably about like 50 games or something like that, you know, probably 35 of them Master System and the rest Mega Drive, and had some really good games in there. Sold them on, I think I got something like 250 at the time for my Master System and Mega Drive, and lots of other bits and pieces and accessories and stuff like that, you know. I had the light gun, I had 3D glasses and stuff like that. Sold it all, and yeah, managed to get that PlayStation. The funny thing is though, at the time, is it felt worth it. It actually felt, you know, when you got that PlayStation, that it was vindicated. It was a good decision to make, and in some ways it was, because it opened up some new genres for me, like first person shooters, 3D fighters and so forth, and I had a great time playing the PlayStation. But as much as that sounds terrible saying that, you know, it was something that I do look back on and often wonder what happened to my collection. You know, is it still out there? Did it go into the hands of a collector, or did it go into someone's attic and stay there, or did it go into landfill? You know, and it just, oh yeah, those kind of thoughts, honestly. But yeah, ironically though, I guess that's not my biggest gaming regret. And, you know, I'll tell you what my biggest gaming regret is, and you're going to absolutely, you know, hate me after this when I say this, right? But not only did I do that once, the first time, and had regret, I actually did it twice. Yeah, that's right. So, where did I start? About year 2000 was when I kind of started buying up retro games again, possibly as late as 2001, 2002. I basically went into a cash generator and I found a Master System again in there, and I bought it, and I bought some games, and I just started buying up some random stuff. And after that point I went to car boot sales. You know, I built up this really good collection of UK Master System games and Mega Drive games, you know, just a really good collection of random stuff basically. But it was all kind of common stuff, but it was all good stuff, you know. It was all stuff that was desirable, you know, stuff like Splatterhouse 2 for the Mega Drive that I'd never had and stuff like that. But yeah, so fast forwarding on to about 2002, I started that, in fact 2001, I started a website called Master System Mania, which nobody will remember because it was just basically a website that housed my collection at the time. It was just, you know, I've got a Master System, I collect Master System games, which was probably unheard of at the time outside of websites like smspower.org. And yeah, I went on that website and it was a bit too techy for me. Everybody was talking about these things like it was just a, you know, hardware specs to be talked about, and nobody was talking about their passion for games. So I decided at that point I would start another website, and I started Sega8bit.com, which, yeah, it was actually smstributes.co.uk to start with, and I started that and built a good website there with a games database and so forth. And in that course of that time, I met some amazing people in the community. Basically, me and some other people out there, guys like Ian Wall and guys like Ninja Bear Hug, Pedro Almeida. We started basically chatting and got into I started a community basically from nothing. And we ended up, another guy called Stan Stepanek, who's no longer around as well. He was a great guy. And he started basically this website, and it fueled my desire for collecting, because suddenly the world of collecting opened up. Began to know about all these variations of games that were out there, all the different releases in different countries, and it was in a mission to document all these releases. Have a website where there was pictures of them all, somebody was collecting them at least, and I amassed a really great collection over that time. And I kept this collection up until about 2008, and at some point, basically my life changed at that point. I got a new job, I met my wife. I met my wife again, because I met her at high school before, but I met her again and decided to get married. And suddenly things that weren't important, suddenly the things that were important to me then weren't as important to me as the future ahead. I was doing things like buying a house, so I decided to sell most of my games collection, and the reason for selling it was basically to buy my first home. And it's really hard for me to regret selling a games collection to fund a house, and I wouldn't be in the position I am just now with a comfortable home and a great family if I didn't do this, possibly. But the irony about this is, when I sold these games for that time, I basically got next to nothing for them. Don't get me wrong, I got a little bit at the time, and I'll show you some of the prices on the screen that I got for games, and you probably would want to strangle me now. I want to strangle myself looking at them, because some of these games, they very rarely come up now. And that's just life, isn't it? You sell a collection, and I think I got to the point where I basically sold off my Japanese Mark III collection, my SG-1000 collection, a lot of my PlayStation collection, about half my Mega Drive collection. I'd sold all the rare games from my Master System collection, and I decided at that point to stop, because the money that I was getting in nowhere near matched what I'd spent putting it out. So yeah, at that point I stopped, and I just basically put everything in a box and put it up in the attic, and just left it there for years and years and years. And yeah, life took the turn of not being about retro games at that point. I had my first kid and second kid came along, and although I was occasionally playing games and stuff occasionally, I wasn't obsessive about collecting stuff like I am kind of now. So there was probably a bit more of a healthy relationship, in all fairness, then than there is now, because now all I can think about is the games that I can't get and how much they're going to cost. So I had really rare stuff like Smurfs Travel the World and things like that, the games that I think now go for like 300 quid a piece. I had all the rare games. I was missing 4 from the complete European and US collection. So that's pretty much where my collection ended at that point. And after that, I still kept the games that I had, but I never had any of the rare stuff at that point. And obviously when I look back now at some of the games that I've had, there's no way in hell that I will get these games again, you know, because they're just too expensive, ridiculous price. Back in the days of, you know, when nobody else collected Master System or any other Sega stuff or any retro stuff in fact at all, you know, games were basically given to me for nothing. You know, I went to car boot sales and I think I spent like a tenner on getting a Mega Drive with 10 games or whatever, you know. People were just giving it away, they didn't want it, they didn't see any value in these items at all. So that's where a lot of my early collection came from, and, you know, to go on and sell that again for next to nothing myself is my biggest gaming regret. And yeah, that's it really, Liam, you know. It's not the most fun video, this has to be said, because there is a bit of a kind of sad story really, isn't it? But you know, I don't know how I can do a regretful video without sounding all miserable and yeah, bunged up about it, but no. One of those things, life experience. It won't be the first time I've sold a collection and regretted it, and I'm probably, you know, knowing me, it probably won't be the last either. So just one of those things, mate. You know, you can't hold on to everything, and the sad fact, I guess, about it all is you can't take it all with you either. So I don't know what's going to happen to a collection after I'm gone, you know, but my son's already laid claim to that collection. Yeah, I think he just wants to sell it, in all truth, but it's nice to have him wanting it anyway. But yeah, that's it. Thanks very much for watching, guys. If you get a chance to respond to Liam's video on your biggest gaming regret or collecting regret, that would be awesome. I know he was quite disappointed that he didn't get any responses to his video earlier. I just missed it, Liam. I'm sorry, mate. I think I was busy that time building a deck or having a dislocated knee or visiting the hospital or something, mate. So I just missed your video, mate. But yeah, I'm certainly listening now, mate. Alright, that's it. Thanks very much again, guys, for watching, and I would love to see your responses to Liam's video again. And yeah, I'll catch you in the next video.